time Seattle won in Green Bay, it was the final year before the turn of the century. And if they win today, the Seahawks are going to party like it's 1999 on EA Sports.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay. And this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. From the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now we get a look at Aaron Rodgers as he gets set to lead this Green Bay Packer offense. Rodgers now in his 17th season in the league, and of course, coming off the MVP trophy.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Second and 10. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
On play action, Rodgers. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and they're going to face a third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48.
They'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Second and 11. Now Rodgers. A check down here to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. To throw is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They go back to the ground with Jones. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain, but I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. He's got it. Touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that makes the score 7-0. Now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And for the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again the Seattle Seahawks offense.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. No gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. This is taken at the 23. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their 2nd straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along. And from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's got some space here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Rodgers now to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. L.J. Collier drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go. We've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So for this defense, a tall order ahead trying to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents, because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great 6th sense, maybe even a 7th and 8th. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try and throw over them and make his height work against him.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. And out of bounds right around the 20. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And the Seahawks are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up first and goal.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second and goal, Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third and goal situation. Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Snap comes at 1. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball, and if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Jones running on first down, but finding it pretty tough going as he'll get forward for only about 3 there before he's taken down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And it's complete to Adams. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? To throw, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage, and downfield, and how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone.
Now Crosby for the point after. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the 1st quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you figure this should be a healthy, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They run it with Carson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wilson steps away to his left. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the 1st.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Carson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
They'll get this out wide to Metcalf.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Two minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And down inside the 15 he goes.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Carson will take the handoff out of the option play.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him 3 on 1st down, It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another 2nd down. It'll be 3rd.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their 3rd down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
To me, this is a case of if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there. And, boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block. So 4th down, Wilson goes to the sidelines, and on comes Jason Myers for the field goal try. Get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 40. 20. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. 82 yards. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. So a pretty wild turn of events there. Instead of a sure 3 points, it's 6 the other direction.
And if you're kicking in the NFL, that should be pretty much automatic, but I don't think that's on him at all. The protection broke down. That led to the block.
Extra point try now for Crosby. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Out comes Chris Carson in the Seattle offense.
At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him.
A big play there on the catch and run for DK Metcalf. And we know all about that sprinter speed that he has. It was definitely on display there as he's able to pick up good yardage after the catch.
Yeah, and this is what we mean when we talk about flipping the field, having your offense look at going a long way to a short way after he makes a play. His ability to do that, evident. Able to make the catch there, keep his momentum going, and just continue downfield.
And it's caught. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our Players Spotlight. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Bobby Wagner, the all-pro, in on the tackle.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
57, Mike. Mike 57. Here we go. 57, Mike 57. Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
From the 31, Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On first down, it's Jones. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Running right, Jones. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
54, Mike. 54, Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Slant to Adams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball, and I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On play action, Rodgers looking deep for Adams. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big connection on that one, 31 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now Jones. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Man, we got to get this stop here, D.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. The kick by Crosby is good. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. To throw is Wilson. And he'll find Everett there, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down now, it's Carson, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is down to a field goal. So that drive, 4 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A give to Jones, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. He hits Adams complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Here we go.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. they've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to slip through.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
He's probably someone they want to get more involved at this point. Second quarter down on the scoreboard, you know that he can be a threat.
And because he's such a threat, as well as so productive, I'm with you on this. They've got to get him the ball more, give him more opportunities for them to have a chance to erase that lead.
Certainly they'll be looking to get him even more in the mix this go-around. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
There's Wilson to throw. It's complete to Lockett. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play there just before halftime.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Wilson will throw again. This is caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead.
So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So they potentially could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Now Myers for the extra point.